You may or may not like rock music, but I ask you, who wouldn't want to live like a rock star? Warning! This episode contains stories featuring things such as sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If that doesn't sound fun to you, you should probably turn this off and reevaluate your miserable life. Living like a rock star gets deep, fat, fry.
Lori Maddox.
How about Lori Maddox?
Nah, this bitch I've heard of. This is the one that fucked David Bowie, right? Or that got fucked by David Bowie.
This is actually where we're gonna. This is the last one we're gonna look on the list because we actually pull a lot more about her. Because obviously we all know I love David Bowie.
We know how Nancy underneath her ended up anyway. We covered that on a previous episode.
Yeah, Nancy's fate. We know already.
Things didn't go too well for Nancy.
Nancy ended up in the morgue. Let's put it that way. Considered one of the most infamous baby groupies, Lori Maddox ventured into the scene when she was hardly older than 14. Most accounts 13, 14, but we'll say 14 here. In fact, it was rumored that she lost her virginity to David Bowie, and she might be best known for the strange relationship she had with Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. Jimmy was very possessive of Maddox. Their relationship faltered over the years and even inspired the Led Zeppelin song Sick Again. But eventually, even the fun-loving Maddox tired of the fickle life of Rockstar and eventually parted way with Page. Now, I've read very differently that he cheated on her and left her, but, you know, this is all fucking the rumor mill.
The giant, ever-whirling mill of rumors.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Paul's pressing the doubt button.
Doubt. The doubt. That's her. It's Jimmy Page. So, I mean, there's solid evidence that this happened. But we're not here to talk about Jimmy Page, of course. This picture of her. So, Lori Maddox, or Lori Maddox, or she went by these two different names, so I guess she had kind of an alias, was obsessed with sex, drugs, and rock and roll, which who isn't? I mean, come on. And they were just as obsessed with her, despite the fact that she was just 14 years old. So a lot of these rock stars, this kind of story goes that she was a teen model, and they it was like, oh, they caught her eye. Oh, David Bowie, noticed her. Jimmy Page, all these famous rock stars kind of just had a thing for this girl for whatever reason. Like they noticed her and she was in the scene.
How you move my world, you precious thing.
What's that from?
So,
Labyrinth.
Okay.
So a lot of this comes from, this is her account for a 2015 interview she did with Thrillist magazine, talking about her experience with Bowie. And that's what I'm going to be referencing now. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys. This is her basically, and this was she told this to a journalist. So this is basically her words filtered through a journalist.
Gotcha.
In 2015. What I remember most about the E Club was Bowie. I met him when he was doing the Spider from Mars tour, like the Ziggy Stardust era, if you know anything about David Bowie. I had not yet turned 15, and he wanted to take me to his hotel room. I was still a virgin and terrified. He had hair the color of carrots, no eyebrows, and the whitest skin imaginable. I grabbed on to DJ and club owner Rodney Bingenheimer, and I said I was with him. So we all just hung out and talked. I had probably kissed boys by the point, but I wasn't ready for David Bowie. She's like, I can't fuck Bowie yet. And that's what Bowie looked like in that time period. So, matches up. But I mean, look, anyone could know what David Bowie looked like, though. The next time Bowie was in town, though, maybe 5 months later, I got a call at home from his bodyguard, a huge black guy named Stewie. There's Bowie and Stewie together.
A huge black guy named... It's so weird at this point because you just fucking think of Stewie as the stupid baby from that fucking shitty Family Guy show.
Take another reach, you forgot your change.
Busting out the fucking Stewie impersonation, huh? All right.
He told me that David wanted to take me to dinner. All right, that seems respectable. Obviously, I had no homework that night. Fuck homework. I wasn't spending a lot of time at school anyway. I'll try to assume to mean none. I said I would like to go, but I wanted to bring my friend Sable. We just talked about her a minute ago.
Oh, right. Sable, too.
Dun, 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 dun. the queen of the groupies. Come on, feel the noise. And this is her, Sable Star, Lori Maddox. And what the fuck's this dude's name? David Hill, guitarist from Slade. Which I don't know shit about Slade. Maybe you guys do, but I don't know a fucking
What the
thing
fuck?
about
You
them.
don't know fucking about Slade, Scotty? One
What's
of the
your favorite
greatest
Slade
bands
song?
of the fucking 80s, dude.
Put your hands up like this. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. TJ, put your hands up in the air. What's your favorite Slade song?
Rock Me Till the Morning Light.
I have no idea if that's right or not, but I'll look it up right now.
It's not.
Feel the noise, dude. Girls rock your
Me.
boys.
That's Quiet Riot, man.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
Slade.
That's not Slade. Fuck off with
It
that.
says it right there on his shirt. It says, "Come on, feel the noise," and then it says Slade.
Oh yeah, you're right. What the fuck?
Come on.
Are you stealing? That's bullshit. Fuck you, Slade. You fucking rip-off artist, motherfuckers. That's Quiet Riot lyrics, motherfucker.
I'll actually see if you guys, I'll look up Slade. I'll see if there's any Slade song. I guess they did Come On, Feel the Noise. Okay.
All right. Well, maybe they did it first, and I just never knew that. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe they. Yeah, 'cause it says 1973.
All
so
right.
I guess
Fair enough. I guess Slade is the originator, so I apologize
Quiet
to
Riot,
Slade.
bunch of rip-off
Quiet
artists.
Riot, fuck you and your rip-off of fucking Slade.
fucking Slade.
Slade was
Slade!
denied its rightful place in rock history because of you.
I mean, dude, and this is why short guys should all try and be rock stars, because it looks like both of these girls are at least a head taller than this dude. But
he's in
they're
Slade.
great. But he's in Slade, yeah. So
yeah.
you know what I mean? They don't care.
I mean, yeah, if you're in, I mean, you're going to fucking, it doesn't matter, man. You don't pass up an opportunity to fuck a guy in Slade.
He looks itty bitty.
Well, look, there's just some things you can do as a male to improve your attractiveness. One, become fabulously wealthy or famous, like a rock star. I mean,
Both is good,
Hey.
too.
I mean, look, if you can have both, of course, that's always wonderful to have. You can also be an attractive rock star.
Yeah, well,
You
this
could
guy,
even more,
this
but-
guy definitely doesn't look I mean, look at his fucking
Well,
face.
he doesn't
dude.
have that. He doesn't have that. But you know what?
He's like
He
this.
has Come On, Feel the Noise.
Yep. That's all
So,
you need, I guess.
Sable Star said, well, she was dying to fuck Bowie. That was like her dream at the time. Like, I gotta fuck David Bowie. I figured that she would sleep with him and I would get to hang out and have fun. At the time, Sable and her sister Coral were both dating Iggy Pop, spending time at the home of Tony DeFries, then manager of David Bowie and Iggy, up in Laurel Canyon. People there were so high all the time, and of course, Quaaludes. Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street? You have an idea of what that does to you. Heroin, smack, pot,
Smack.
PCP, whatever the fuck, it was being done.
They should have listened to Pee Wee Herman, dude.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't I?
Yeah, didn't listen. Didn't listen.
Crack is no joke.
This is crack.
Whatever. In the ride to the Rainbow, which I'm sure you guys are, well, I think we've all been to the Rainbow at least once, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
Rainbow
have.
Grill. I believe is it in West Hollywood, Paul?
Yes.
Yep, in West Hollywood. I've only been there once, so I can't claim to be some expert there. And Sable said to her, "If you touch David, I will kill you.
Okay.
I will kill you. I am the queen of the group. If you touch but a hair on David's head, your life is forfeit."
Wow. Okay.
I didn't. That flaring bullshit at the end is made up by me.
No. She said every word of that. I believe it.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't think she was kidding. We sat.
Usually
this corner table in our-
people don't usually go all the way to kill unless they're pretty serious, so.
Yeah. Well, generally not. Yeah. We sat at this corner table in a private room. Stewie rolled enormous blunts. Good job, Stewie. John Lennon and Yoko Ono stopped in to say hello, of course. It's David Bowie. Oh, hey, David, how you doing? What's up? We were drinking cocktails, looking at the menus, when some crazy guy dove over the table and said to David, "You flaming faggot! Kill Bowie!
What?
You flaming fucking faggot! Kill Bowie!"
You flaming faggot, kill Bowie? He said kill
You
Bowie
flaming-
to Bowie?
Yeah, you flaming fucking faggot. Kill Bowie.
Kill Bowie.
Kill Bowie.
Damn.
Next thing you know, Stewie's got the guy pinned down. And we're being escorted out of a side door and back into the limo. Danny's song was played on the radio. And Sable started to sing to David. We ain't got no honey, but I'm so in love with your money. He laughed so hard, he thought it was hilarious.
And it was. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, shit. I got sidetracked for a second. I was like, what the fuck is this Slade shit? We got to the Beverly Hilton. And I went up to Bowie's enormous suite. I mean, of course, it's David Bowie. He's going to have the penthouse. I found myself more and more fascinated by him. He was beautiful and clever and poised. I was incredibly turned on. Bowie excused himself and left us in the big living room with white shag carpeting and floor to ceiling windows. Stewie brought out champagne and hash. That's awesome, dude. Like, would you care for some champagne?
That's his main function, right? He's just like, here's more drugs. I'm introducing them into the environment at all times. Stewie, keep the drugs flowing. Keep them flowing at all times. Drugs, mate, drugs.
I'm sure part of his job descriptions was to give David Bowie lots and lots of coke and other drugs, and to make sure he wasn't dead.
At all times, keep feeding me drugs, unless I look dead. In which case, turn me over so I don't choke on my own vomit or whatever the fuck.
Help me out then, but beyond that,
just keep me high.
Dude, that is kind of a fantasy of mine. Not to have like as many drugs as I want, but just to have a professional like Snoop Dogg blunt roller where it's like, God, I really want to smoke some weed. Blunt roller? Here you are, sir.
Blunt, yes. Blunt me. Anytime.
Well, I mean, of course, on demand.
On demand, blunt rolling.
We were getting stoned when all of a sudden the bedroom door opens. And there is Bowie in this fucking beautiful red and orange and yellow kimono. I couldn't find that one, but here's one that's like similar. Not similar in the color, but the look.
The kimono.
The kimono. So Bowie was known to wear these as well. Oh, Tab.
What have you done?
What have you done? He focused his famously two-colored eyes on me and said, Lori, darling, can you come with me? Sable looked like she wanted to murder me. He walked me through his bedroom and into the bathroom, where he dropped his kimono, which I don't know why he would. He needs to wear that to stay covered. He got into the tub, already filled with water, and asked me to wash him. Of course I did. He then escorted me into the bedroom, gently took off my clothes, and de-virginized me.
How clinical.
Of course, that's not all, guys. I mean, this is David Bowie. He's not just going to simply just have sex with one girl. 2 hours later, I went to check on Sable. She was all fucked up in the living room, walking around, fogging up windows and writing, I want to fuck David. Okay. I told him what she was doing, and then I felt so bad. Bowie said, well, darling, bring her in. That night I lost my virginity and had my first threesome. The next morning, there was a banging on the door, and it was fucking Bowie's wife, Angie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
The plot continues to thicken.
This is Bowie with his family here, his wife, Angie. I was terrified of her. David said not to worry about it. They were already at this point. Oh, excuse me. They were already at the point where they had separate rooms. Obviously, so Bowie could do what he wanted to do.
Gotcha.
She probably knew he'd be in there with girls or boys. He was totally bisexual. I saw David many times after that for the next 10 years, and it was always great. So what do you guys think of that tale?
It's definitely quite a tawdry tale, right? I mean, I don't know what you do in terms of like a story, like because like R. Kelly obviously at this point is being like completely canceled for this kind of behavior, and yet David Bowie still has this sort of like legendary status and shit. And dudes like Jimmy Page, I think Jimmy Page is still alive, right?
Yes, he's alive.
Yeah, I mean, like he was involved in this kind of shit. So it's like, do these rock stars from like the 70s just get a pass on this shit?
Well,
or is it just like
we're going to get into that at the end of this.
Okay.
But so I did some fact checking because obviously you hear a story, it's a crazy, sensational story. You're going to say, well, where's the truth of the story? Is there any evidence that she was with Bowie? Is there pictures of them together? Are there any sort of records? They're independent. So Maddox also gave a different account of her encounter with Bowie to music journalist Paul Trinica, in which he claimed that she and Starr sought out the hotel room Bowie was staying in and sneaked inside uninvited. Maddox claimed that when they found Bowie, he was tired and initially reluctant to have sex with him, but they eventually persuaded him. However, Maddox's allegations regarding her experience with Bowie have been called into question due to timeline issues. She may have been in a relationship at the time with Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page. And here's those two featured together. The image is not the best, but obviously these are from the 70s.
Right.
By the time she claims to have met Bowie at Led Zeppelin's 1972 North American tour came to Los Angeles in June, several months before Bowie's Ziggy Stardust tour arrived for the first time in October of 1972. Maddox's account is contradicted by fellow groupie and the inspiration for Penny Lane and Almost Famous, Pamela de Barres' memoir, I'm With the Band, in which Barres described Page being in a relationship with Maddox by late 72 and before February 73. Therefore, before March 1972, when Maddox claimed to have lost her virginity to Bowie. Maddox has also previously claimed that she lost her virginity to Page, contradicting her own later accounts.
So she's kind of rewriting her own mythology as she goes, to some extent.
Yes, for certain.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I've seen people who are apologists for her and saying like, well, I mean, look, she might have just gotten timelines mixed up, and maybe she didn't lose her virginity to Bowie, but she still fucked Bowie, or things like that, or
I don't think you would forget who you lost your virginity to, as a groupie. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't think so at all. I think when you're seeking that lifestyle out, you're not gonna fucking go, oh, who was it? Was it David or was it Jimmy Page? I don't know. Two very but
I mean, if you're gonna be
dudes,
if you're gonna be a groupie who has some name recognition for that. I think that, it kind of like, if that's what you're famous for and that's what you're kind of like leaning on, which obviously, if she was still doing interviews about it years and years later, obviously she kind of is like, running on those fumes from those days. It kind of makes sense to be like, no, I lost my virginity to David Bowie. It was probably some fucking roadie or some shit at some point, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was alleged in some, like, there's actually a kind of a tell-all novel like about Led Zeppelin called like Hammer of the Gods, and the guy that wrote it was a tour manager for Led Zeppelin, and apparently there was some sour grapes there, and like that was almost claimed too, where it's like, oh no, I was fucking a lot of these women. It wasn't the rock stars who were actually doing that because they wanted to get close to him, of course, and that guy controlled who, oh, you want to meet them? Okay, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's see what you got for me. Furthermore, unlike the numerous photos of Page and Maddox, such as one here, and heavily corroborated and well-documented evidence of the relationship, no photographic evidence of Bowie and Maddox together exists. So there's not any proof that she was actually ever in the same room as him. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but unlike with Jimmy Page and these other rock stars, there's never anything with the two of them together in any sort of setting that could be verified. But I mean, it's a sensational story for sure. And I mean, this isn't even the end of her tale. Obviously, if I do a follow-up to this, there's actually the whole thing with Jimmy Page and other shit we can get into with her.
Oh, you didn't pull the shit with her and Jimmy Page?
Well, no, because I wanted to, look, there's a lot of stuff here. I wanted to make it a full Rockstar experience, not just the sex with underage girls experience. But also, I think there's a lot more meat on the bone with those two. To be honest with you, this David Bowie one,
you could almost probably do a whole fucking video on that. To be honest with you,
yeah,
because that story is fucking insane.
It almost seems to me that if I had to guess, it doesn't really seem like maybe she'd met Bowie or seen Bowie, but if there's not any proof of it, it's just it's what someone's claiming. A lot of people take it as like the gospel truth, like, oh, she said this, that David Bowie's a pedophile and he did this and that. It's like, well, unlike these other rock stars, like obviously Jimmy Page was fine having this picture taken with her. He was fine having people know in his inner circle that he associated with her. So it just kind of seems strange that nothing like that would exist with Bowie. But maybe
it kind of seems to me, and I don't want to fucking go overboard with speculation, so let me just say this is nothing but speculation, but it kind of seems to me like she never fucked Bowie, but wish she had, and kind of just like invented a story, later, like, yeah, totally I fucked the shit out of Bowie, like numerous occasions. There's no evidence of any of it, of course, but I done it.
Let's see what you're missing out on, Let's. You dumb fucking simp.
Cut this man's dick! Show for intellectuals only. Get out, plebs!